What's up, Taiwan? I'm Reece with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Is Taiwan's president too powerful? That's what some candidates for the country's top offices are saying. Jeremy Olivier has more.
Former Taipei Mayor Ko Wen-je is bringing some big ideas to Taiwan's presidential race. He's standing for the Taiwan People's Party, Taiwan's third biggest party, and offering an alternative to the country's established two-party system, which Ko says is in need of radical change. The way Ko sees it, the president currently holds too much power, and if he were elected, he'd give some of that power back to the people by convening a parliament.
我如果当中华民国的总统，其实我的目标是将来要产生中华民国第一位总理啊。他当然都不会一步到位，所以我们要开始往我们要叫做内阁制是我们的目标，然后一步一步往那个移过去。
According to Ko, as it is now, the president doesn't need to answer to the legislature, and that lack of oversight means they can get away with a lot more than a prime minister would. Unlike in the UK, where the leader is elected by the majority party in parliament, or the US, where the president is the chief executive. In Taiwan, the head of state is meant to share that power with the premier. This role oversees a cabinet of ministers and other high-level officials, also known as the executive yuan. It's called semi-presidentialism, and it's meant to keep any one person from having too much of a say in policy decisions. But in practice, the president still calls the shots.
Taiwan is a unitary government with a directly elected president who appoints the premier, who then appoints the entire cabinet. And the president can appoint or remove the premier at will. The president doesn't need the legislature to confirm the premier. And so, in effect, it operates much like a full presidential system.
Ko is not the first to make this case. Eric Zhu, the chair of the opposition Kuomintang, has been pushing for a parliament in Taiwan since at least 2014. And ruling Democratic Progressive Party politicians have also at times called for a less powerful president. But some analysts say semi-presidentialism is still the best choice for Taiwan, and changing it is not as easy as Ko's making it out to be.
This is the non-starter, right? Why? Because you want to overhaul the constitution. It is a high bar. You have to get a lot of legislators, right? 3/4 legislators, something like that, and you need to have a constitutional referendum.
And it's those legislators who are meant to keep Taiwan's president in check. Individually elected, opposition lawmakers holding a majority in the legislature can limit a president's power. With less than a month to go before Election Day, Ko's call for Taiwan to have a parliament may just be a campaign tactic, a way for this third-party candidate to set himself apart from the others. But its popularity among politicians across party lines could continue to grow, eventually bringing about big changes to Taiwan's top office. Justin Wu and Jeremy Olivier for TaiwanPlus.
A new survey finds that a growing number of Taiwan's workplaces are queer-friendly. The report by local groups Tongzi Hotline and Taiwan Equality Campaign identified 47 of the 62 surveyed companies as friendly to LGBTQ+ employees. Over 60% of these businesses were foreign-owned. The survey also found that only around a quarter had written LGBTQ+ protections into their company policies. Rights groups say that companies in Taiwan can do more to accommodate their queer employees. Despite signs of society becoming more accepting of LGBTQ+ people in Taiwan, the country's reproductive laws are limiting their ability to start a family. Harrell Hughes met with one couple who are experiencing this restriction firsthand.
A family of two, hoping to become a family of three.
我们是网络交友认识的。对。
Ambu and Rita are legally married in Taiwan and ready for a baby. But their options to have one in the country are limited. Under Taiwanese law, reproductive procedures such as IVF and implantation are only open to women who are married to men. To get around this, Ambu and Rita found a fertility clinic abroad and have sent their frozen eggs to the United States to prepare for IVF. It's a process that's been full of challenges.
那其实主要就是产生一个蛮昂贵的一个，因为它是生物的，
对，
医疗级的一个的运费，对，其实这笔运费是蛮不小的负担，这样子，对。那算是第一次正式出国，就是直接要去植入了。
Taiwan was the first country in Asia to legalize same-sex marriage. It also has one of the lowest birth rates in the world. Women here can and are encouraged to freeze their eggs, with the government even offering subsidies for the procedure. But it's an option not available for LGBTQ+ couples, as using a woman's frozen eggs requires a husband's permission.
There are more and more people wanted to build their family, especially after we have the same-sex marriage law. So it's very interesting to see that with the commitment to fix the low birth rate problem, the government cannot see that there are people who want to have their kids.
Legislators have only just begun discussing updates to the law to allow female same-sex couples access to reproductive technology. But Ambu and Rita decided not to wait for change that may or may not come. They're preparing to start their family now.
经济上跟人力上是准备好了，心情上，我觉得我可能还在调试，对我还在调试。
就准备好，就是第一个决定是我要做这件事情，就是我要做了。
Despite the journey and extra expenses, Ambu and Rita have high hopes their family can start growing in the spring. But for many other LGBTQ+ families in Taiwan, they'll have to wait for a government decision in their search for equality. Eason Pan, Eason Chen, and Harel Hughes for TaiwanPlus.
Masked palm civets are popping up more in Taiwan's cities. Now, a national Taiwan University project is taking the opportunity to study the animals more closely. Bryn Thomas has the story.
From the forests to the concrete jungles of Taiwan's north, masked palm civets are increasingly taking up residence in the big city. People in Taiwan have posted pictures online of a small tree-dwelling mammal carrying their young, showing that, for the moment, they're here to stay. Their increasing numbers have inspired a team from National Taiwan University to learn more about these furry new neighbors.
各种你想象得到的地方，它都可能在，像是沟区里面，然后变电箱、建筑物的天花板夹层，然后甚至是树洞，这些地方其实他们都会住。
Masked palm civets used to be endangered in Taiwan, but they were taken off the list in 2019 after successful conservation efforts. Now that they're back, researchers are taking the opportunity to study them. They've set up tracking programs and cameras, and are using social media to collect data from the public.
当大家看到，不管他是死掉的或者是活着的，你看到他在哪里出现回报，这样子的资讯其实可以协助我们知道说白鼻星可能会在什么季节，会不会带小孩，或者是他在什么时候出现在什么样的地方。
They're hoping to nip a potential problem in the bud. Having civets in civic spaces could endanger the animals and pose a health risk for humans. On one hand, 20 years ago, the masked palm civet was initially blamed as a possible source of the deadly SARS outbreak. On the other hand, civets often get killed crossing the streets and fall prey to both angry landlords and stray dogs.
尤其是在我们的就是流浪犬猫的管理还没有很完善的情况之下，这种状况其实就会造成可能会有一些疫病的传播这样。
The researchers want to understand patterns in civet behavior, to protect them and develop policies for managing them. While most people are happy to see masked palm civets popping up near their homes, researchers hope they'll help look after the newcomers doing their civet duty. Scott Huang and Bryn Thomas for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Before signing off, we bring you this footage of animals at London's Sea Life Aquarium getting some special Christmas treats this week. I'm Reece Ayers, happy holidays and see you next time.